Now that Strange New Worlds Season 3 is ended, I think everyone can relax, right?
Thank God.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the future of Star Trek. Besides Season 4 of Strange New Worlds and their puppet episode, is there anything else we can look forward to in Star Trek? Well, we've got Starfleet Academy, and everybody's already made their opinions known about how much they dislike this. Well, sad to say, that brings us back over to Strange New Worlds. And the fact that they are working on 6 episodes. The final season for Strange New Worlds will be for 6 episodes only. And apparently the producers of the show had to fight with Paramount to get those 6 episodes. Now, these 6 episodes are apparently also causing problems for another series that Star Trek and Alex Kurtzman wants to get off the ground. And yes, of course, that brings us right over to Star Trek Year 1, the series starring Paul Wesley as Captain James T. Kirk. The series that nobody wants, but Paramount, or at least Alex Kurtzman, seems to think that everybody needs. Apparently, as of right now, Skydance and Paramount have not given Alex Kurtzman and his crew the green light to make this series Star Trek Year 1. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm quite happy with the idea. I've talked about this before. The only way for Star Trek to repair the damage, for Paramount and Skydance to repair the damage, is to shut down all the Alex Kurtzman projects. Alex couldn't even make a good Star Trek movie for Paramount Plus. Section 31 was a train wreck, and the only reason it was made into a movie was because Michelle Yeoh won an award in 2023. It was going to be a TV series. But after Michelle won, Paramount decided, we need to make this into a movie. This was all based off of Alex Kurtzman and his people's storytelling for a TV series. The movie was garbage. Can you imagine what the series would have been like? Another reason why I have a problem with the Alex Kurtzman projects is Star Trek Con. Now, for the most part, it's not a bad series so far. I'm enjoying it. There are some things about it that are not making sense to me, but for the most part, it's not bad. But one thing in particular that stands out, and this is where the history of Star Trek and the history of Khan and his encounters with the Enterprise and the 23rd century technology does not align with this series. In one particular episode, Khan and his people have decided to hunt down what they believe to be the queen of the Seti eels, at least in the area that they are living in. And they find it, and they're trying to kill it, him and his people, and they're not doing a good job with it. And Marla comes along with a phaser that she snuck off the Enterprise. Khan and his people actually are surprised. What is that? Where did you get that? A laser? Now, I may be wrong on this, and I would love for you to correct me if I am wrong, but in Space Seed, aren't those phasers that Khan's people are holding? It kind of looks like it to me, doesn't it? So it begs the question, how is it that these people have phasers on the Enterprise, know all about them, and yet when Marla sneaks one onto SETI Alpha 5, suddenly they've never seen one before and have never heard of the word phaser? Alright, so this is coming from Red Shirts Always Die. Star Trek Year 1 could be in danger if a decision isn't made soon. While the producers are hopeful for a new Star Trek series focusing on a younger Kirk, there's a major concern that could ruin it if the decision doesn't come soon. So Strange New Worlds' plan was for the show to end, the last episode for season 5, those 6 episodes that we were just talking about, it would end with Kirk becoming the captain of the Enterprise, and then the next thing we would be is Star Trek Year 1 with Captain Kirk in charge. Okay, so Strange New Worlds will begin production soon and is planned to wrap up the final year in December of 25. This means that the sets won't be needed, and Goldsman admitted to Trek Movie that's a major concern, because if they don't have a decision by the end of December, that means they have to start tearing all this stuff down. Now, in recent years, the one thing that was good that so many people enjoyed was Picard Season 3, thanks to Terry Matalas. And he even went to bat with Paramount and CBS Studios to try and get a Star Trek legacy for the Enterprise G, and they were not at all interested. Paramount and CBS felt that Starfleet Academy would be a better way to go, and it's not been received well. The trailer bombed, And nobody has any enthusiasm or excitement for this or any upcoming Star Trek projects. Okay, so we've talked about this before. The only way you're going to save Star Trek and get all the fans back on board is you've got to shut this down. You've already destroyed, if you're counting Star Trek Discovery, you've already destroyed 900 years of Star Trek future, Starfleet future, when you had this dilithium crystal great burn event happen that killed off all the crystals. And then a series that no one liked, well, a lot of people didn't like Star Trek Discovery. You have now spun off Starfleet Academy in the same timeline based off of the events of Star Trek Discovery with a female Jem'Hadar. Red flags all over the place. Not to mention the fact an 800-year-old hologram. Looking forward to that. Star Trek needs a break. It needs a massive reset. You're also talking about a Star Trek Kelvin timeline movie. You are confusing people big time with these multiple movies and multiple universes. It's got to stop. You need to show some respect and repair this damage. Anyway, I'm going to end the video right here. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments, so please drop them below and let me know. Until the next time, my friends, God bless.